as a designer, for you to find it easy to always come up with good design layouts, you need to learn the habit of deconstructing the world around you, looking for layout elements. Welcome to my channel. In this tutorial, I have a design I received during the week, and I'm going to show you guys how to achieve good design composition using the brief and the design. I'm sure you guys are going to learn from this tutorial, so let's start. So this is the design I received during the week. And all right, so this project here is not successful, and I'll share why. The composition here is dull. And the reason why it's dull is because we have lots of elements that are drawing attention at the same time. I'm talking of the use of all these items here. All right, the umbrella, the chair, the ball, then the car. All right. I know as designers, most time when we're asked to work on design project and we see the page looking empty, what always comes to our mind is, how can I make the page full? How can I make people know I did something? The goal is not for you to create the impression that you did something, but to make the message in the project clear. Is to tell the story and inform the viewers, inspire them to look at every information in the project. That should be your goal. All right, so the picture of this lady here is not, really necessary. We're talking about summer party here. We're supposed to have something fun, all right, something entertaining. That should be, your focus whenever you're asked to work on project like this. So I'm going to quickly recreate this, and I'm going to show you guys how to achieve successful composition whenever you're asked to work on projects like this. So I'm going to quickly create a new document now. I'll go to File, and I'm going to select New, and I'll make my, I'm going to call this project Summer Party. My width is going to be, it's going to be 1080. All right. And height is going to be 1350. Okay. And my resolution is going to be 72. And the reason why I'm using 72 now is because this project is going to be posted on social media. All right. So 72 resolution is best. And color mode also need to be on RGB. These are settings that you need to make sure you do right whenever you're working on social media posters. Okay. Then I'm going to select the create button. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to go to my exercise file here and drag my background image and drop here. Now, I created this background image myself. I would have loved to show you guys how I did this, but, it's going to take forever. All right, but I'm going to quickly break down what I did here so you guys understand how to put together your elements whenever you are creating a party poster. So because we're talking about beach party here, the elements that you're to put together to show that beach party feel in your project is the palm trees. All right, and that's why you see all this palm tree here. And the reason why I placed this palm tree here is to help make whatever I place here, all right, to capture the viewer's attention. All right, then I have these planks here to show that party, effect there. And then we have people, all right, at the beach here. We have, buildings, all right. So these are elements that when people see them, it makes them know, okay, there's a party going on here. And then I now have the ocean water here, all right. So the ocean water shows the, is also part of the elements that we use to illustrate beach whenever you are working on beach party posters. Okay, now this is not the only solution to making project like this look successful. There are several ways you can achieve project like this, but my focus here is to show you guys how to make the elements in your project visible and how to use simple elements to pass the message to the viewers fast. And that's what I'm teaching you guys how to do here. Okay, good. So I'm going to take this out. So if you look at the design that the designer did here, you see we have different beach elements here. All right, it's not always compulsory you use all these elements. All right, picking one of the elements is enough to make your project look successful. I'm talking of all these type of elements that we have here. So I'm going to pick this ball here. All right, I'm going to use this ball here to pass my message to the viewers. So I already have the image I'm going to use here. So I'm going to drag and drop this here so you can get the link to this image in the description section of this video. So I'm going to use my pen tool here to crop this background image out. So I'm holding on Alt there. So I'm going to make the same move here, hold on Alt and hold on Alt again, and then I'm going to close this. Good. So I'm going to hold on Control and Enter to convert the part to a marquee. All right. So we don't need this. So yeah, the reason why I have this, I have this shape layer is because I did not remember to change this to part. I was supposed to change this to part. Okay. So as to not have this new layer that Photoshop created for me here. All right. So I'm going to delete that. Make sure your cursor is on the layer, and I'm going to hit the delete key on my keyboard to take out that selected area. So I'm going to hit Control D to take away the marquee there. All right. I'm going to select the move tool. Then I'll drag this and drop here. Boom. So I'll convert this to a smart object. So the reason why I'm converting this to a smart object is because I don't want to lose the quality of the image. All right. So I'm going to activate free transform now with Control T. I'll hold on Alt and make this smaller. And this should be on the ocean water like that. Rotate this a bit like that. All right. So this should come here. Good. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm seeing all this white line around, my ball here. So what I'll do is I'm going to hold on Control and click on the thumbnail of the ball and add a layer mask to this. Then, you know what, let's just create a new layer so you guys can see the effect we're making here. So I'll create a new layer here now, and I'm going to apply the color of my background here. I'll hold on Control and backspace to do that. So I'll select the layer mask of the ball. I'm about to take out these white effects that I have around the ball. So I'll go to Filter and say Order and say Minimum. All right. So I'll make my radius 1, and I'm sure you guys noticed something here. All right. So I'm going to select the OK button, and now we don't need this. Okay, good. So I'll put the ball in a group. All right. Now, the reason why I'm putting the ball in a group is because I'm going to crop this side of the ball out. I'll call this ball. Then I'm going to select the lasso tool. Then I'm going to take this out. Now, the reason why I'm making this move here now is because, you see, you should always give room for unity whenever you're working on design projects, most especially when you're creating photo manipulation. Making it look like your elements belong together is very important, and that's what I'm trying to do here. All right, so I want to see the reflection of the ball on the water, so I'm going to hold on Alt and click on the layer mask icon there. All right, then the next thing I'm going to do is to create a new layer, and I'm going to make sure my background and foreground here is set to black and white. It's very important. All right, so I'll go to Filter here now, and I'm going to say Render and say Cloud. Okay, then we'll go to Filter again and say Filter Gallery, like that. Then I'm going to make sure that my sketch, I'm on the sketch option here, and I'm going to select Chrome. So my detail is going to be 4, smoothness is going to be 7, and I'm going to select the OK button. Now we need to save the project because we need to, make some effect here. So I'm going to go to File here and say Save As. So I'm going to hit the Save button here, all right, and hit the OK button. Now I'm going to take this out. I'm going to create a curve adjustment now, and I'm going to select the clip icon. All right, now why I'm making this move here is because this side of the project is where we're going to place our sunlight. All right, and we need to make the effect of the sun, all right, reflect on the ball. So since this is the opposite side of where the sun is coming from, this side of the ball need to be darker. All right, so it's like the way we're used to seeing objects in front of light. So I'm going to move this down like that, and I'm going to hit Control I on my keyboard to reverse the mask. Then I'm going to select the brush tool and make sure my foreground and background here is set to white. Yeah. Then I'm going to make sure my brush settings here is set to white also, and my flow here is going to be 18. Then I'm going to increase my brush size. All right, I'm going to increase that there. Then I'm going to softly apply All right, the brush here. So the reason why we played with the flow here is for us to be able to control the strength of our brush. All right, so still make this a bit higher. So yeah, then for this, still make it a bit darker like that. Shift select the two layers and hit Control J and right click and say convert to smart object. And I'm going to right click again and say rasterize. Then I'll go to filter, distort, and say displace. And make sure my horizontal scale and vertical scale here is set to 45 and 45 there. And I'm going to select the OK button, then select the document that we just saved and hit the open button here. All right. Yeah. So I'm going to activate the free transform with Control T. And so I'm going to hold on Shift and push this down and move this up here. Okay. This is better. Okay. Good. Then the other thing I want to do here is I'm going to create a new layer here, select the brush tool, and make my flow. Let's just make our flow 6. All right. And make sure that our foreground here is set to black. So I'm going to softly apply. No, that's too heavy. So I'm going to change this to, let's just use 3. So I'm going to softly apply the brush there. And I'll make the same move here. Add a curve, select the clip icon, and move this down. And hit Control I. And then we're going to make, so we need to switch to white. All right. This should be on white. And my flow need to go back to 100. Or no, let's just use 25 is fine. And I'm going to softly bring this, back like that. Okay, so move this up a bit. Good. So then we need to blend this to make the effect of the water reflect on our rough ball layer. So I'm going to double click on the layer to activate the layer style. All right. Then I'll move from here. All right. Good. This is better. And I'm also going to move from here. Right. Like that. So I'm going to hold on Alt and split the slider here and move this to this side and move this here like so. So we can even turn down the opacity of this a bit. So we can move this here and move this here. All right. So then I'm going to select the OK button now. And yeah, so I'm going to add a layer mask to this. Okay, then I'll go to my brush setting here and just pick a rough brush here. And I'm going to make my brush a bit bigger. Then I'm going to go back to 100 here and make the brush a bit flat. Right, it should be flat like that. All right, then make sure that my foreground here is set to black. And I'm going to delete the ball from the project like that. All right, this is better. Okay, and just see if we turn this down a bit. Good. All right, good. Then the next thing we're gonna do now is to let's still add a bit depth to the ball. So I'm still gonna move. Okay, no, this is fine. All right, then the next thing we're going to do is to add a light effect. So I'm going to create a new layer and call this the lights. Okay, then this should be above the ball. Sorry, this should be above the ball layer. So I'm going to hold on Alt and place my mouse in between the two layers now. All right, and I'm going to click to clip the layer to the ball layer here. So I'm going to switch to white and select the brush tool and go under my brush settings here and select the soft round brush. Okay, and increase my brush size and make my flow 14. Yeah, so I'm going to softly apply the brush, like that. All right, so the reason why I'm applying this brush here is because I want to put a sunlight effect here. So I want the effect of the sunlight to reflect on the ball. Okay, so good. Then we are going to go straight to our Illustrator and design our title. So I'm going to create a new document now. I'm going to click on File and I'm going to select New. So I'll use 900 by 900 for this. Okay. And I'm going to select the Create button. I'm going to copy the title now. And I'm going to select the type tool and paste it here. Okay. And I'll make this bigger. So the character I'm going to use here is going to be Jen's type. And the reason why I'm using this character is because I like the fact that it looks playful. Position this here and hold down Alt and drag. And I'll paste the word party. Like that. Then it's time for us to start playing with our characters here. So what I'll do is for the letter S here, I'm going to click and hold down on the type tool layer to launch the sub tool under the tool, and I'll go to touch type tool here, and I'll make the letter S more bigger, and this should move down here. And for the letter U, I'll move that closer to the letter S. And for the letter M, I'll move that here. So then we're going to change the color of our characters. So I already have the color code. So I'm going to double click on the fill color here to activate the color picker. And I'm going to paste the color code there and hit the OK button. Then for the stroke, I'm going to use a darker color here. So what I'll do is double click to activate the color picker. Sorry, I'm going to double click and adjust the value here. All right, so the reason I'm using the reason I'm changing the value of my stroke is because I know my background is bright. So I want color that is going to contrast the color on my background. So I'm going to change the stroke of this to 3 like that. And I'm also going to make the same move here. I'll make it 3. So the other thing we need to do here is format our character. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because the letter M here looks more like W. And that's why in graphic design, whenever you're working on design projects, it's always best to check if the design of your character is not going to confuse your viewers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the character now and go to my type menu here and say create outline, direct selection to here, and I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to play with the points. So this should come here and this should move to this side and this should go up and it should move to this side. These are part of what you need to know how to do as a designer. Okay, you can even take this point out. So I'm taking this out. Good. All right, so I'm going to move this point here up and move this out like that. So I'll make the same move here. So I'll move this down and move this up a bit like that. Then for this, we're going to move it up and move this down here. Okay, like that. So this is better. So if I zoom out, this is what we have. All right, good. So I'm going to copy the color code because I want to create a shadow of this object. So I'll select the objects now. I'll select type and say create outline, and I'll move this to this side with Alt hold down. Then I'll select this object here and I'll go to object and say expand. I'll go to object again and say expand. Then I'll make sure fill and stroke are selected, and I'm going to select the OK button. Then I'm going to select the unite button here on the Pathfinder tab. Then I'm going to select the object and I'm going to hit Ctrl G to group the title there. Then I'll move this here like that. Good. Then I'm going to copy the title by hitting Ctrl C, and I'll go to Photoshop and paste the title. So I'm going to paste this here. Now make sure your object is set to smart object when you're doing this. So I'm going to select the OK button. All right, so we get calls a lot from people who are looking forward to go into design. And because of this, we started a foundation where we can be a blessing to these people. Okay, but we have tools, we have gadgets we are looking forward to buy so we can be a blessing to these poor people. So we need you to work together with us to help these people. And how we need you to help us is through your funds. Okay, so we need you to send us your funds so that we can get those gadgets that we need, that we can use to help these people. If you want to support us with any amount, kindly make use of the account details on the screen. And if you're outside Nigeria, you can use the seller link below the account details on the screen. No amount is too small and no amount is too big. And for those of you who have been sending your funds, we appreciate you for doing this. Okay, so let's continue. And I'll move this above this. And I'm going to activate the free transform and make this bigger. So we have our title ready. And there's another thing we need to do again. So I'll go back to Illustrator. So we need to give our title that beach style. Okay. So I'm going to drag and drop this image that I downloaded from the internet. All right. So I'll go to the drop down arrow here and say 6 colors. Then I'll go to expand button here and go to object menu and say on group. All right. So I'm going to select this white fill object here. And I'll go to select menu, say same and say fill color. So what I'm asking Illustrator to do for me now is to look at the project and pick objects with the same color. So we have objects with white color selected, and I'm going to zoom in and deselect some of the objects. All right. Yeah, I don't want that to be part of the selection. All right. So I'm going to hit the delete key. Then for this side here, I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete this and also delete this. Yeah. Then I'm going to make the same move again. Select the black color object, go to select menu and select same and say fill color. All right, so I have all blacks selected, and I'm going to select the eyedropper to here and sample this color that I have here. All right, then I'm going to copy this object now, and I'll go to Photoshop and paste. So I'm going to hit Ctrl V to paste. Still make sure your object is set to smart object, and I'm going to select the OK button. Then I'm going to make this bigger. So I'm holding down Alt there. So I'll right click and flip this horizontal and position this here. Then I'll move this behind the title. So let's just move this here for now. Yeah, this is better. So I'll put this in a group. So I'll shift select the layers and hit Ctrl G. Then I'll call this title. Good. Then I'm going to draw a shape. So I'll go inside the title group folder and I'll draw a shape here. Then I'll sample a color from my title here. All right. Then and I'll take out the outline. Then this should come here. And I'm going to copy the next information and select the title and paste it here. All right. So I'll activate free transform and make this bigger and move this here. Then I'm going to add tracking to this. So this should move here. Line. So I'm going to activate free transform and move this in like that. Okay. So the character I'm using here is Bebas. So I'm using Berber Neue. I'm using Berber's Neue. So I'm going to move this up here. So I'm thinking of adding more tracking to this. So I'm going to add more tracking. Then the next thing I'm going to do now is to give life to my title. Yes, because my title needs to have that warm color to really create that attention. All right, so I'm going to select the title layer here and select magic wand here. So if you can't find your magic wand tool, click and hold down this particular tool here and select the magic wand tool. Then I'm going to click on the fill color on my title. So I'm holding down shift as I click like that, and I'm going to create a new layer and call this warm. Good. So we're talking about summer. All right. So we need to give the project that warm, look. So I'm going to sample a color from the shape behind the title, and I'm going to select the OK button, and I'm going to hold down Alt and Backspace to fill the layer with the color. So I'm going to select the lasso tool here now, and I'm going to hold down Alt and take out the area that I don't want as parts of my selection. So I'm going to take this out now. Right. I'm going to select the eraser tool, and under my eraser brush settings here, I'm going to make sure I'm on the soft round brush, and I'm going to take this out like that. Then I'm going to hold down again and click on the thumbnail of the type of the fill color that we have here. Then I'm going to select the lasso tool again and hold down Alt, and this time I'm going to take out this upper parts. Always make sure you hold down Alt, okay? So the reason why I'm making this move here is because I don't want the eraser brush to affect the upper part of my title, okay? So I'm holding down shift as I add the area that I want to be part of my selection. So I'm going to hit the eraser tool again and take out the parts that I don't want in the title, and look at how beautiful our title is. So the next thing I'm going to do is still make the same move again. Select the magic wand tool. I'm going to hold on shift and select the fill color in my title. Then I'm going to select the warm layer and create a new layer. I'll call this layer white stroke. Good. Then I'm going to add a layer mask to this. So whatever I do to this layer now won't go outside of the shape of my layer mask here. So I'm going to select the brush tool and select the hard brush and change my flow back to 100 and change my fill here to white. So I'm going to draw. No, excuse me. I'm supposed to be on white. So I'm going to select this icon here and switch to white. So I'm just going to draw a part like that. So I'll do this again. So I'll turn this on. So because I have a graphics tablet, so I turned on my pen pressure so as to be able to control the strength of my brush. Moves like this are always, beautiful. Playing with your title like this is part of how you can give life to your projects and make your project draw the attention of the people. The reason why this is easier for me to do is because, like I said in the beginning of this tutorial, that you need to learn the habit of deconstructing the world around you, looking for layout elements. I'm a type of designer that spend time looking at good design and solving the equation why the design is successful to me. So what I'm doing here now is something I've seen before in someone's design. So I'm applying it to my project, and I'm sure you guys can agree with me that this is really working. So as a designer, you need to learn the habit of checking out good designs, and taking your time to solve down why the design is successful to you. The more you do this, the more you're opening yourself to knowing how to achieve good design. All right. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'm going to put this in a group. So I'm going to shift select the title now and activate the free transform and right click and say skew and push this up like that. So I mostly do this when I want to give that fun effect in my party poster project. So I'll move this down a bit. I think I over skew it. Good. So if I zoom out now, this is what we have. So I'm going to activate the free transform, right click, say skew, and move this way. Good. Then I'm going to activate free transform again and move this up a bit. So I'm going to crop out this shape from the title. So I'm going to go straight to the ball layer and hold down Control and click on the thumbnail of the layer mask of the ball. And I'm going to select the title group and apply layer mask to it like that. Remove the chain connecting the layer mask and the group. So I have the freedom of moving the layer. So I'm going to move this down like that. So I'm going to connect the chain back. So it's time for us to start doing some color grading here. So if you look at my title here, you notice the color. My title is different from the color that I have in my background. I'm going to activate hue saturation and I'm going to select the picker icon here and pick this color from my background, and I'm going to adjust the hue till I see the touch of the color that I have on my title. All right, yeah, this is what I'm looking for. So I'm going to make the same move to the ball. So I'm going to yeah, that's the layer. So I'm going to put this in a group. Yeah, so I'll make the same move again. So I'll call this ball. So I want the color to affect the ball. All right, so I'm going to activate hue saturation and sample this color here. All right, and I'm going to adjust the hue again. So I'm going to move this till I see that touch of color I'm looking for. So for the red, I'm going to make the same move. So I'm going to sample the color and make this have that pinkish red, like pink red like that. So I'm going to desaturate this. So the reason why I'm doing this move on the red part is I don't want too much focus to go on the ball because red is one color that reads fast. I'm thinking of still making this a bit darker. All right. I just want to reduce the brightness of this so as to make more contrast between so as to achieve more contrast between the background and the ball. So I'm going to drag this light effect and I'm going to change the blend mode to screen and position this here. So I'll activate free transform and make this bigger. Yeah, like that. So I'm seeing this white faded effect on the light layer. So I'm going to activate levels and then take this faded effect off. Then, so I'm going to add my other information to the project. So I already have it typed here. So I'm going to put this here. So I'm still using the same character. I'm using Bebas. So I'm going to sample the color from here. Go select the OK button and take out the tracking here because the tracking there is too much, and activate free transform and make this bigger. I'm going to right click and select skew and still follow the same direction with the title, and I'm going to add leading to this to really help visibility there. So I'm going to add tracking again. I'm going to add more leading. Yeah, Okay, though I'm gonna position this here. Nobody's gonna arrest me for doing this, so I can't position it here. All right, so I'm gonna copy the next information there and activate free transform and rotate this and make this smaller and position this here. Yeah, this is better. This is beautiful. I'm going to hit Ctrl J again and position this here and activate the free transform and rotate this and position this here. Now, guys, if you are loving what you're watching now, can you kindly give this video a like? Kindly select the like button if you're really having fun watching this tutorial. And if there's anything you want to share with me, you're free to drop it in the comment section of this tutorial. All right. Okay, so I'm going to adjust the leading like that. So really help the flow of reading in the project. So I'll paste the next information there and break this here and break it like that. Good. Information there visible. Then I'm going to, then I'm going to make a copy of this information that I have here. So I'll hit Ctrl J and this could come here, activate the free transform. All right. And then one last thing I need to do here is to add a vignette effect. So I'm going to move this down and hit Ctrl I and select the brush tool. Okay, turn this off. Go to my brush setting tab here and increase my brush size and make sure my foreground here is set to white. And I'm going to bring back the curve like that. So the whole idea is to make the attention of the viewers go to the content that I have. Yeah, so I think this is it. So this is the final project. I'm sure you learned from this tutorial. If you have not subscribed, remember to hit the subscribe button and remember to click the post notification bell so you get notified when I post my tutorials. If there's anything you want to share with me, drop it in the comment section of this video. I'll do my best to reply you. And if you love this video, give it a thumbs up. Share this video with other designers. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.